Hello, pretty people. It is Tuesday, and I am bringing you a layout that is based on another couple of pictures from New Orleans. And this is when we took a tour of the Garden District area, and it was London and I basically touring the homes that were from celebrities or that were originally built. And this was ones that this was ones that doesn't sound right. This was homes that were either restored, remodeled, or just basically kept up with over the years, and they were just gorgeous, absolutely to die for. And so I wanted to make sure that I did a layout that showed some of these houses and some of the sites that we saw. The horse pulls there are original to when people used to ride their horse up, and they'd strap their horse to those little circular hanging rings, and that's where their horse stayed while they would go in and visit. So I found that really fascinating. And there were also, a lot of things that were maintained, like the brickwork and the way that the cellars and the guest houses and things like that were maintained. It was just a really awesome tour. I really loved it. So it was super hot that day, though. I remember thinking I got sunburnt, and I don't really burn, and London was just miserable, and they did let us stop at like a little ice cream shop and get ice cream, and she was excited about that. But man, it was super humid. It was so lush with plants and trees and everything, and then it was at over 100 degrees outside that day anyway, and it was a walking tour, so it was probably a good 3-hour walking tour. It wasn't for the weak of heart. But anyway, it was well worth it. And there was a couple of famous artists and musicians that my lovely artistic and music-driven daughter really loved seeing. One was de Gaulle, and she went nuts when she saw his house. So apparently he lived there with his partner for the duration of his life after they got together. So I just thought it was a great little tour for London and I. True and her boyfriend stayed. I think they stayed at the hotel or went to lunch or something like that. I can't remember. But here I am trying out the tearing that I've seen some people do with their rulers, and I don't know if I really like the torn edge like that. In a way it didn't bother me, in another way it did. So maybe it was just because it was kind of formal pictures, or I don't know. I didn't like the tearing. And here you can see I was trying to come up with several ways of laying that additional paper, and that didn't work out. So I cut out a bunch of me putting stuff down and pulling stuff off, and apparently I cut out too much because there's a huge skip, and I apologize for that. But you can see here I'm adding some of the brads that were from Basic Gray and K & Company. The K & Company are really old. They're like Brenda Walton. And the lime green elements are from, I want to say, Heidi Swapp's Serendipity. And then that wood grain little card there is from Amy Tan Stitched, I believe. And I basically just used very little papers on the background. You can see I added some little photo corners, like the green photo corners that were, gosh, I've had those forever. They were by Chatterbox. There's like a million in that package. And here this tape, I guess washi tape just has a certain amount of life because it wouldn't work for me. So I ended up pitching it. I literally like pitched it in the trash. That's how frustrated I was. And I had distressed a bunch of my edges with Memento ink in London Fog. And I also did a lot of journaling, which is unlike me. Let's see, the alphabets that I used were Finley Alphabets and Words, and American Thickers in Doll are the ones that are, I don't know if you can tell, they're kind of a canvas, light greenish yellow, or yellow-green. And there's a bunch of journaling you're about to see. The bow was handmade by me, and the little metal elements I want to say are, oh, who makes those? I want to say they're the Bella Boulevard book plates. I don't know. I'm guessing on that one. Something on there is the Bella Boulevard book plates. So I'll read my journaling real quick, and actually I was tired, so the end doesn't make a, it's not the best writing I've ever done. I'm usually a much better writer than this, but I said, London and I went on a tour of the homes in the Garden District of New Orleans. It was a walking tour, and it was super hot that day, but we still enjoyed the beautiful homes and all of the gorgeous flowers and landscapes. The homes were in such excellent condition. I loved some of the history that we heard from the tour guy. I had to take a picture of the metal horse poles, and the thought of riding up on to visit friends at one of those homes on your horse and tying it up there and walking in to a gorgeous house like this must have been so wonderful back then. And so, yeah, that kind of wrapped it up. So I'm sorry that the majority of this layout turned out to be writing, but I guess that makes up for all the times that I don't normally journal. But here are the close-ups, and I want to thank you for watching, and I appreciate your time. I know I've been super busy working, and I hope you're sticking with me and still enjoying my shares. So I want you to have a good evening, and I will have another video for you soon. Talk to you later. Ta-ta for now. Bye.